standing up. We are standing up for the concerned citizens of Glasgow. They don't want to see their city and country transformed by huge levels of mass immigration and so-called asylum seeking, who don't want to see the problems and dangers which come from that. Last year, over 1.2 million long-term immigrants came into the United Kingdom to settle. That is completely unsustainable. We blame our politicians for this. We do not blame the immigrants. And we ask, where are the politicians today who will point out that these numbers are completely crazy? And look at the English Channel. Where are the politicians who will address the anxieties of the people of Glasgow and Scotland as we watch Britain being literally invaded across the English Channel by hundreds of young men each day? These men make their way to Scotland. We ask, where are the politicians who will address the concerns of the people who do not want groups of young fighting-age men being resettled into towns and villages across Scotland and the UK? Where are the politicians upon whom we depend, upon whom we depend, upon whom we depend to recognise our concerns? Where are the politicians who should respect our concerns? Where are the politicians who should engage with our concerns? Where are they? Why should it be left to people like Alistair McConnachie here from aforceforgood.uk to articulate these matters? There are millions of people in Scotland, Unionists and nationalists alike, who are rightly concerned about the levels of mass immigration, and we want the numbers to be hugely reduced. Yet there is nobody on the other side of the square today who will address the concerns of the Scottish people regarding the transformation of our city, of our country, Scotland, and of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. It's as if the politicians of all parties, upon whom we depend for our protection, that they choose to support open borders. They choose to support tens of thousands of unvetted young men coming into our country before they will support us, the Scottish people. So where are our politicians? The leaders of all parties, SNP, Labour, Tory, Greens, Lib Dems, they all support this mass immigration which causes housing problems, social services problems, endless waiting lists in our international health service.
About another 6 minutes. Yes.
Well, we don't want Glasgow to become like London, where the police have become overwhelmed with crime. So what about us? Who speaks for us? What about the concerned citizens of Glasgow, Scotland and the UK, who do not support mass immigration and who do not want our country invaded across the English Channel every day? We have a right for our borders to be controlled. We have a right to expect the Royal Navy, in the words of a former Prime Minister, to defend our islands, whatever the cost may be. We have a right to feel safe in our streets. We and our children have a right to be able to afford housing, to enjoy a national health service, and not to be burdened by an international health service. We have a right to enjoy a society free from crime and a police force that's not overwhelmed. So we call upon our politicians to speak up for us. And we remind people that it's the politicians to blame. It's not the immigrants. And to that end, we call for a meeting with the First Minister. A force for good is calling for John Swinney to accept, respect and engage with the concerned citizens of Glasgow. The First Minister says we have a responsibility to confront what he calls racism. That's true. Well, we also have a responsibility to confront the fact that immigration is too high, the small boats must be stopped and turned back, and such so-called asylum seekers who are simply economic immigrants should not be dispersed within Glasgow and Scotland. He also has a responsibility to watch his language and ensure that he does not call the concerned citizens who point these things out by any smear labels such as extreme. We are asking John Swinney to meet with a delegation from a Force for Good to discuss these matters. And while we were at it, we'll also give him some policy suggestions. We want to meet with John Swinney to discuss our concerns for public safety and for cohesion, and our concerns about the effects on housing, on medical treatment and public safety. Millions of people throughout Glasgow, Scotland and the United Kingdom have these concerns. These are legitimate moral and political concerns. And there are millions of people who share them. These people are not extreme. These people are not extreme.
I'm just winding up. How long? About 3 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, yes.
As we say, it is not acceptable to smear millions of concerned citizens as extreme. It's not extreme to be concerned about our country being literally invaded every day across the English Channel. It's normal and it's necessary to be concerned. It's not extreme to stop children being attacked and murdered. It's normal and necessary to stop the dangers to our children. It's not extreme to want to stop the boats. It's normal and necessary. It's not extreme to want to send such so-called asylum seekers back across the English Channel. It's normal and it's necessary. It's not extreme to oppose your country being effectively colonised and making. It's normal and necessary. It's not extreme to speak about these things. It's normal and necessary.
And I'm just going to conclude by thanking the people listening. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Sorry.
Yes. So to conclude, once again we asked the First Minister John Swinney for a meeting so we could discuss these matters with him. And in the meantime we remind him and all politicians that he has a responsibility to watch his language. It's important he does not mislabel people as extreme when millions of concerned citizens have these concerns. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. God bless Scotland. God bless the United Kingdom, and God save the King. Thank you. And thank you to the police here.
Let's meet. We did that way. Okay. Thanks for the message.